Howdy everyone, Catbird here again. I'm getting ready to start my Appalachian Trail journey again. Pick up part 2 where I left off on part 1. And so I wanted to give you a recap of this journey, how it looks for most people and how it's looked for me so far. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,193 mile footpath which starts or ends in Springer Mountain, Georgia, and goes to Mount Katahdin in Maine. The trail leads through 14 states. It takes the average person about 145 days to complete from end to end. For sleeping arrangements, most people either sleep in their own personal tent or in one of the many lean-to shelters that can be found along the trail's length, or they may stop in a small town along the way and sleep in a hotel or a hostel. Food is generally acquired by mailing food to yourself at the post office or by going to one of the small stores, convenience stores, truck stops, and those sorts of things along the way in the small towns that you encounter. The trail crosses many streams and springs, and so most hikers will get their water from those streams and springs and filter it with a filter that they're carrying along with them, and oftentimes be gathering and filtering water many times during the day, generally at least 2 or 3 times at a minimum. Most people carry 1 to 2 liters of water with them at any given time, and I personally like to drink about 1 liter of water for every 4 miles that I hike. I feel like that's a good amount of water to keep me properly hydrated. My original journey began on February 27th. I started at Amicalola Falls, which is the beginning of the approach hike, 8.8 miles that get you to mile 0 of the Appalachian Trail at Springer Mountain. And then I completed my journey on March 31st in Erwin, Tennessee, and I decided to get off to take the pressure off of the healthcare system. Should I happen to get sick and need to go into town, I didn't want to be potentially taking, some sort of illness to an emergency room in a small town where there might have been pressure on those systems. We now know that there's not a lot of pressure on the small town healthcare systems. So for me, that meant it was time to get back on the trail. And so here we go. So my journey resumes in Erwin, Tennessee on June 7th. I will spend the night at the Super 8 in Erwin, Tennessee on the evening of June 6th and get back on the trail on June 7th. And I still have 1,849 miles to complete this trip. I'm hoping to have this trip completed by October 15th. I don't know if that's optimistic or not. Ideally, I would like to be finished by October 1st. At this point, I'm going to have to get my trail legs back, and that means a few weeks of pushing some heavy miles till I've regained the strength and endurance in my legs and lungs so that I can do the longer days necessary to get through this entire hike. I think that covers all of the big details that I wanted to cover in this trip. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of sort of my start date, my end date, and all of the main statistics about the trail. And I'll leave you with a few things. If you're able to do so, I would really appreciate if you could donate to Hike for Mental Health. Hike for Mental Health is a nonprofit organization that donates funds to mental health facilities for people who need those services, for veterans, and they also donate money to trail maintenance and restoration. And it's a very good organization. So I know times are tough, but if you're able to donate a few dollars, that would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it, and I know they would as well. Also, I'll leave a link to my gear video. I know that's often a common question. For those who are interested, my total weight of my pack is about 30 pounds, and it depends on day to day. As I'm coming into town, it might be as low as 28. As I'm leaving town, it might be as high as 35. But you can see my entire gear list, which has changed a little bit. That gear list is on Lighter Pack, and I'll provide the link in the comments. Also, please subscribe. Click the like button. When you do that, it helps others find the video. It makes it increases the prevalence of the video in the search algorithms of YouTube, and so it helps others find the video more easily. Also, if you leave comments, we can have a robust dialogue. You know, if you have a question, put the question in the comments. Don't be afraid to post questions there. Or if you have a comment that you want to tell me about something, do it. Let's make this interactive. It would be fun if this was interactive, because that's what this is all about. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, checking in, and I'll see you on the other side.